You are tuned into the new home for IE Sportsnet every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. with Coach B.
And Eternal. When it comes to Inland Empire sports, the conversation starts and stops here.
On Fox Sports Radio, 1350 a.m., IE Sportsnet every Saturday morning, 8 a.m.
Where the pros talk sports in Riverside and San Bernardino. Fox Sports 1350. KTDD San Bernardino. An iHeartRadio station.
What's up? This is TJ Ward from the Denver Broncos. You're now tuning to IE Sportsnet.
The Inland Empire Sports Authority.
Yes, we are live. It is IE Sportsnet, IESportsnet.com, right here live on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 a.m. Yes, indeed. What a great morning. It is Eternal.
And I am the one and only Coach B. And you know when it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops right here on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 a.m.
Yes, indeed. Wow, what a great Saturday. Got my man Greg Holler in the house, as always. Special man. He comes in, man, does a great job. And let me tell you something. We have a great show in store for you guys today. Coach B, how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good, man. We do have a very, very great show. I got to tell you, I'm extremely honored. We have today we have all the coaches are here. First of all,
yes,
all the coaches are here. So Coach Morrison from Santiago is here. Coach Hughes from Diamond Bar is here. Coach Zelaya from Kaiser is here, and then we have Aquinas High School going to call in. So we're jam-packed today.
But man, you were telling me that we have a very, very special guest. I mean, when you told me about it, I was like, yeah, right.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
You pulled it off, brother.
Absolutely. The thing is, we're IE Sportsnet. We are the Inland Empire Sports Net, and we're based in the crown jewel of the Inland Empire. But there is something out here that is so big, it's hard to believe.
Indeed.
One of the biggest cable networks in the nation is based right here in Corona. So, we've covered the MAVTV 500.
Yes,
we've watched MAVTV. Do we have our special caller calling in this morning to IE Sportsnet?
Yes, I'm here, Bob Patison.
Hey, good morning, sir. Well, if you could please do us the courtesy, sir, and again, we certainly appreciate you calling in so early. If you could please introduce yourself to the IE Sportsnet audience.
Glad to do it, and thank you for having me on the show. Bob Patison. I'm president of MAVTV. And I'm also the executive vice president for Lucas Oil Products, which is also based right here in Corona. Proud to be part of the IE.
Man, I'm telling you guys do a really good job. Bob, and again, we appreciate you calling in. If you could please just kind of inform our audience and then give them a little history of the network of MAVTV, please.
Well, MAVTV is your destination for all things motorsports. We are a 24/7 motorsports network. We cover everything from sprint cars to drag boats to off-road trucks and World Rally Cross and everything in between. If you're a motorhead, if you're a sports fan, with regards to automotive, we've got it. And then we also have Tuesday night. We've got a real strong lineup of King of the Cage MMA competition as well.
Indeed, yeah, and I'm a big motocross fan. One of my favorite guys is Bubba Stewart. Man, I'm telling you, so I really enjoy motocross. Now, talk to us a little bit about how Lucas got involved with MAVTV.
Well, we started off as just a financial investor. We wanted to learn more about the television business. We own and operate our own racing series, which led us into developing a production studio to do the television production of the shows. So we took that on about 8 years ago, and then the next logical extension of that was to take it one step further and get into the actual TV network business. We like to be as self-sufficient and as vertically integrated as possible, so it's a natural progression of our growth, which leads us to the next step, which is the Internet Digital Network that we're going to roll out later this year.
Fantastic.
Awesome. And once again, we have Bob Patison, president of MAVTV. And it's funny when you say that, it leads us right into our next point, our next topic here. What is your vision, Bob, for MAVTV? Where do you see this going for MAVTV and Lucas Oil and it being involved?
Well, twofold. Lucas Oil is the parent company of MAVTV, and Motorsports, as you well know, has always been the cornerstone of our marketing program. So that is our focus. It's served the company well, so we're dedicated to making this the best motorsports network in the country, and we're going to continue to add to our lineup do more live programming, such as the AMA Motocross, as you mentioned. We carry all of the first motos for the entire season live on MAVTV.
Nice.
We're going to continue to do that, but we're also going into the over-the-top internet-based delivery. So this December, we're going to roll out the Lucas Oil Racing Network. It'll be available on the internet and through an app.
Wow.
And it'll be worldwide, and this is going to be a direct 24/7 internet platform that delivers motorsports of all shapes and sizes. And it's going to deliver a lot of content that you don't see on television. You're going to see qualifying and heat races for events, and you're going to see special profiles on drivers. And then you'll have some archive content like the Best of the David Despain shows. So it'll be an opportunity for people to come on anytime they want during the course of the day and be able to pull up some kind of motorsports content that's relevant to them.
And that's going to be awesome. Now, once again, we have Bob Patison, president of MAVTV on. I am a resident of the city of Fontana. And like I said, we've covered the MAV 500 a couple of times. And I know in the Fontana Herald, the local newspaper, they were saying it looks like we're not going to have our NASCAR race next year. Not NASCAR, our Indy race, our MAV 500. Are you guys going to relocate that race, or are we still going to see the MAV 500 next year?
I don't think it'll be in Fontana. Everything I've heard indicates that the race will probably move to Phoenix. So I don't think it's 100% certain yet, but I've been told that the race will most likely relocate over to the Phoenix track.
Okay, and then one last question. We're pressed against time, but one last question. I know you're the president of MAVTV, once again, Bob Patison, but it's time to be a dad. What are your thoughts about your son, Jason? He's a racer. He's out there doing great things. I know he's involved with MAVTV as well. Give us a little plug on your son and his race career.
Well, Jason's growing up. He's got a family of his own now, 2 wonderful children, grandchildren that I just adore.
Nice.
He's the programming director of MAVTV. He's responsible for what you see on the network, and he actually oversees most of the day-to-day operations as well. So he races in the Lucas Oil Modified Series, and he does it as he can around his work and his family. But he's settling into more of a regular job.
Right.
Still loves racing. Still gets out to the track when he can. But right now he's got his hands full with MAVTV and his family. So he's a good young man. I'm proud of him, and he still gets out there and gets behind the wheel once in a while.
I heard that, man. Hey, Bob, I tell you what, you guys are really doing a great job, and congratulations to all the work you guys are doing, and that what you guys are going to be rolling out digitally in December is going to be great, man. So we really appreciate you calling in this morning.
Well, thank you very much for having me on the show, and I look forward to next year MAVTV, and hopefully we can visit again.
Most certainly, sir. You can take care and enjoy your weekend.
All right, you too. Bye.
So that was a great interview. We had the president of MAV TV, second guy in command at Lucas Oil, called into IE Sportsnet. You can't beat that.
You cannot. And again, that just showed you what's going on right here at Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. Again, we're doing some really great things here. We're excited to be bringing that kind of information to our Inland Empire audience.
Absolutely. Coming up next, we have the head coach from the Santiago Sharks, Coach Morrison, here on IE Sports. Now let's take a commercial. You're listening to Coach B.
Andy Turner. When it comes to Inland Empire sports,
the conversation starts and stops here on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Los Angeles Lakers.
This is Xavier Henry from the LA Lakers. You listening?
Data knows you post selfies like they're going out of style. Data knows you've got no selfie control. Lucky for you, for just $35 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and more data than ever. So keep snapping and sharing. Boost Mobile cut the price and cranked the data. So stop spending a ton of money on a little data and start getting more data for less. Come to Boost Mobile and come to data. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store at boostmobile.com for details.
$35 plan includes 1 gigabyte a month of high-speed data. Video streaming limited to 3G speeds. After applicable data allotment reached, data speeds including video reduced to 2G speeds for remainder of plan cycle. International services extra. Offer and coverage not available everywhere and subject to change. State and local sales taxes/fees may apply when adding funds to accounts. Offer network use rules and other restrictions apply. apply. See boostmobile.com or in-store materials for details.
Attention, structured settlement recipients. Are you receiving future payments from a settled lawsuit? Do you receive annuity payments spread out over a long period of time? If you are receiving a structured settlement and want a lump sum payment, call CBC Settlement Funding now. If you qualify, you could be eligible for an immediate $1,000 fast-track advance. Get cash today to pay off credit card debt, buy a car, start a business, or make home improvements. Stop waiting for your money. Receive all or just a portion of your settlement today. Structured settlements are designed to spread out payments over 10 or 20 years. If you are receiving a structured settlement paid out over time, call to receive your personalized options and be sure to ask about a $1,000 fast-track advance. Get the money you deserve today.
Call CBC Settlement Funding now to discuss your free no-obligation quote at 1-800-648-4504, 1-800-648-4504. Again, that's 1-800-648-4504.
Did you know home appliance and major system breakdowns cost homeowners an average of $1,700 per year in repairs and replacements?
American Residential Warranty can help cover those costs with home service plans starting at less than $1 a day.
Plan options include coverage for central air, heat, and ductwork,
interior electrical systems and plumbing,
major kitchen appliances,
water heaters,
washers and dryers,
garage door openers,
ceiling fans, and more.
Even pools and spas.
American Residential Warranty replaced my dishwasher with a brand new one, and I only paid a small service fee.
I woke up on a Saturday morning, there was no hot water in the shower. So I called American Residential Warranty. They sent a repairman to fix the problem the same day.
Call now. There's no obligation. But hurry, if you wait until you need a home service repair,
it'll be too late.
Call now to get your home warranty. 1-800-969-0885. That's 1-800-969-0885.
Attention. The FDA has associated Depakote and Paxil with serious birth defects. If you took one of these drugs while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, the manufacturer may be to blame. If you took Depakote or Paxil and your child was born with anal atresia, cleft palate, clubfoot, cranial defects, heart defects, gastroschisis, omphalocele, PPHN, spina bifida, or other limb defect, call the Rely On Group. You and your child may be entitled to a significant cash award.
Call the Rely On Group right now and you'll be connected to an experienced attorney who will evaluate your case and determine if you may qualify for financial compensation. There is no risk on your part and you don't owe a penny unless we are successful.
If you took Depakote or Paxil while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect,
call the Rely On Group at 800-219-6552. That's 800-219-6552. Attention patients who've been implanted with an IVC filter. If you or a loved one received an inferior vena cava filter and are now suffering complications, call the Rely On Group right now. You may be eligible for financial compensation. IVC filters are implanted into the inferior vena cava vein to prevent blood clots from traveling into the lungs, causing pulmonary embolisms. Unfortunately, these filters can fracture, move throughout the body, pierce blood vessels and organs, tilt, or become irretrievable. These failures can result in a number of serious injuries, including internal bleeding, organ damage, infection, and even death. If you were implanted with an IVC filter and were injured, you may be owed compensation from the manufacturer.
Call the Rely On Group right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation for your pain and suffering.
If you or a loved one has been implanted with an IVC filter and the device failed, call the Rely On Group at 800-219-2913. That's 800-219-2913.
Yo, what up? This is Sendog from Cypress Hill. You're listening to me on IE Sportsnet all day long, all day strong, you heard?
Yes, we are back at IE Sportsnet. IE Sportsnet right here live on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. Wow, what a great Saturday. I am Eternal.
And I am the one and only Coach B. You know, when it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops right here.
Yes, sir, indeed. Well, you know what? We have a great guest in the studio with us. Doing a great job, Coach. You know, again, you came here bright and early, man. We really appreciate you coming out. Coach, if you would be so kind as to introduce yourself to the IE Sportsnet audience.
Absolutely. My name is Scott Morrison, head coach at Santiago High School in Corona, and I appreciate you guys having me this morning.
Yeah,
and what do you want to do, Coach? I know it's you want to get as close as you can to that microphone. So
he has a coach voice, man. He's ready to go.
Absolutely. He probably lost his voice from last night.
Man, I tell you, I was just about to say, man, you guys obviously had a big game last night. Coach, maybe you can kind of brief our audience a bit on that game you guys had against Chaparral last night.
Well, it was a tough game. Guys played hard. Chaparral is a good football team. They have some very dynamic players. Our guys executed really well. We took care of the football, and for the most part, we tackled. And that gives you a good chance on Friday nights.
Indeed. Now, you guys are obviously, when season starts, no days off, man. It's grown men, with big boy football, I should say. Yeah. And you guys are really going to be playing some tough stuff. And then again, you're coming into something new. How is it? What was the preparation for you as a coach coming into the season, kind of like knowing you're going to be starting fresh?
Well, there's a lot of things about new that is a challenge, and we're working on a lot of culture things that are changes, I guess, from what our guys have experienced in the past. But they're doing the players are doing a great job adjusting to the new coaching staff, and we know we have a large task in front of us. The Big 8's a very competitive conference, and everybody gets after it in that league. So we're just going to have to keep our nose to the grindstone and get it done.
Heard that.
Yeah, the Big 8 is one of the big leagues. I mean, they only have a team in there called Centennial and Norco. So you're absolutely right, Coach. But last night, let's talk about your quarterback. Now, he has some big shoes to fill. Last year they had a quarterback by the name of Blake Barnett, who's at Alabama now. So that's a big thing to follow behind. Last night, like we said, you had a big win against Chaparral, and he accounted for 4 touchdowns. So what were your thoughts on his performance and what he accomplished last night, Coach?
Jacob did a good job. He's got good players around him. He's got a great offensive line, and when he settles in and makes the right decisions and the right reads, he gives us a really good chance to be successful. He knows his job is to get the ball in the hands of guys that are going to make the plays, and he's done a really good job of that the last couple of weeks.
And once again, you listen to IE Sportsnet on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. We have Coach Morrison from Santiago Sharks in studio with us. I almost said on the line. Give us some of the, we talked about your quarterback. Give us some of the names or some of the players that we should be keeping our eye out for this year on your team, Coach.
Well, we love our bigs. Our offensive line guys are really solid, hard-working group of guys. Nolan Bizzogno, Carson Bugera, Trent Ello, Jeffrey Farrell, Brandon Veazey. Those are our big guys up front on the offensive line. Our defensive guys, we have 4 or 5 guys, Mason Ingram and Nick Reiser and Grady Sanchez, who's out this week, Hunter Williams. The skill guys are going to get their name in the paper a lot.
Yeah.
And we're really blessed to have 2 good running backs in Mason Hale and Kamari Carter. And, I believe one of the leading receivers in terms of numbers of receptions in the Pac-5.
Wow.
And Jacob Ricard. So
nice.
We have some good kids. We're really fired up.
Now, you guys are going to have a big game coming up next week. Well, there's no every game's going to be pretty big for you. But next week, you guys are going to be playing a very hungry Corona team who just came off their first loss. I mean, you guys are about 100-yard dash away from these guys.
Right.
I mean, you guys are literally right around the corner. I mean, you guys jump a fence, and there you are right there. Talk to us about that. How that game's going to be pretty big. I know that most of those kids probably at the high school level have played against each other, all the way up until now. So maybe, what are your thoughts on that, how big that game is against Santiago and Corona?
Yeah. It's the start of league, and that's probably the most important thing. It's not so much who your opponent is, but the second part of the season starts. We're in season 2 now.
Yeah.
And at this point, every game has playoff implications. And I think our kids understand that, and I'm sure that the Panthers understand that. And they'll be hungry and ready to play. Both teams coming off of a bye, so we should be reasonably fresh. We always expect our opponent to play their best, and we hope that they do, and we hope that we're up to the challenge.
Indeed.
Absolutely. And once again, Coach Morrison here on IE Sportsnet. Now, we looked at your bio, 29 years of coaching. That is amazing. This is your first year at Santiago. I know it's early in the season, but just give us an overall snapshot. And what are your thoughts and your feelings early on in the season, how you guys are looking?
Well, thanks for not saying that I look like I've been coaching.
Well, I know me and my hairline broke up, so don't even worry about that, Coach.
I'm sorry, the question again?
No, we just asked you, give us an assessment of your thoughts of, it's early in the season. You guys aren't in the league yet, but just give us a snapshot preseason, your first few games. What are your thoughts on the season?
Well, I think we're trying to get better every week. We try to get better every practice. That's kind of a mantra that we have, and we're still not practicing at a level that we as coaches expect. We're not practicing. We have aspirations in our program of being a championship program, and you have to be that every day.
Mm-hmm.
And our guys are trying hard, and they care, and they love each other, and we're making great strides. But we have a long, long way to go, and we're just optimistic that we'll continue to get better, because that's one thing that has happened over the first 5 weeks of the season is we've played progressively better each week.
Nice, good stuff, Coach. Well, I tell you what, Coach. Again, kudos to you, man. You have it looks like you got a real nice group of kids over there, and you're doing a fantastic job. Obviously, we're going to be keeping an eye on your progress over there, man, because you guys are going to be, man. It's going to be some tough games coming up. But again, thank you so much for coming into the studio today, sir.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let's make it a routine, make it a habit. Once again,
indeed,
Coach Morrison, Santiago Sharks head coach, joining us on IE Sportsnet. Coming up next, we have Coach Zelaya from Kaiser. I hope I'm saying that right.
I'm certainly going to correct you.
Yeah, I don't want him, backslapping me or whatnot. But we're going to go ahead and go to a commercial break. Once again, you're listening to IE Sportsnet with Coach B.
And Eternal. When it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops here.
On Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
You're listening to IESportsnet.com, the Inland Empire Sports Authority.
Data knows you post selfies like they're going out of style. Data knows you've got no selfie control. Lucky for you, for just $35 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and more data than ever. So keep snapping and sharing. Boost Mobile cut the price and cranked the data. So stop spending a ton of money on a little data and start getting more data for less. Come to Boost Mobile and come to data. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store at boostmobile.com for details.
$35 plan includes 1 gigabyte a month of high-speed data. Video streaming limited to 3G speeds. After applicable data allotment reached, data speeds including video reduced to 2G speeds for remainder of plan cycle. International services extra. Offer and coverage not available everywhere and subject to change. State and local sales taxes/fees may apply when adding funds to accounts. Offer network use rules and other restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com or in-store materials for details.
Attention structured settlement recipients. Are you receiving future payments from a settled lawsuit? Do you receive annuity payments spread out over a long period of time? If you are receiving a structured settlement and want a lump sum payment, call CBC Settlement Funding now. If you qualify, you could be eligible for an immediate $1,000 fast-track advance. Get cash today to pay off credit card debt, buy a car, start a business, or make home improvements. Stop waiting for your money. Receive all or just a portion of your settlement today. Structured settlements are designed to spread out payments over 10 or 20 years. If you are receiving a structured settlement paid out over time, call to receive your personalized options and be sure to ask about a $1,000 fast-track advance. Get the money you deserve today.
Call CBC Settlement Funding now to discuss your free no-obligation quote at 1-800-648-4504, 1-800-648-4504. Again, that's 1-800-648-4504.
Did you know home appliance and major system breakdowns cost homeowners an average of $1,700 per year in repairs and replacements?
American Residential Warranty can help cover those costs with home service plans starting at less than $1 a day.
Plan options include coverage for central air, heat, and ductwork,
interior electrical systems and plumbing,
major kitchen appliances,
water heaters,
washers and dryers,
garage door openers,
ceiling fans, and more.
Even pools and spas.
American Residential Warranty replaced my dishwasher with a brand new one, and I only paid a small service fee.
I woke up on a Saturday morning, there was no hot water in the shower. So I called American Residential Warranty. They sent a repairman to fix the problem the same day.
Call now. There's no obligation. But hurry, if you wait until you need a home service repair,
it'll be too late.
Call now to get your home warranty. 1-800-969-0885. That's 1-800-969-0885.
Attention! The FDA has associated Depakote and Paxil with serious birth defects. If you took one of these drugs while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, the manufacturer may be to blame. If you took Depakote or Paxil and your child was born with anal atresia, cleft palate, clubfoot, cranial defects, heart defects, gastroschisis, omphalocele, PPHN, spina bifida, or other limb defect, call the Rely On Group. You and your child may be entitled to a significant cash award.
Call the Rely On Group right now and you'll be connected to an experienced attorney who will evaluate your case and determine if you may qualify for financial compensation. There is no risk on your part and you don't owe a penny unless we are successful.
If you took Depakote or Paxil while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect,
call the Rely On Group at 800-219-6552. That's 800-219-6552.
Yo, what up? This is Sandog from Cypress Hill. You're listening to me on IE Sportsnet all day long, all day strong, you heard?
Yes, we are back at IE Sportsnet, IESportsnet.com, right here live on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. This is Eternal.
And the one and only Coach B. You know, when it comes to Inland Empire sports, the conversation starts and stops right here.
Yes, indeed. Great Saturday, man. We have a very special guest here in the studio. Got a jam-packed show, man. If you guys have been tuning in, thank you so much. Coach, if you would be so kind as to introduce yourself to the IE Sportsnet audience, please.
Good morning, boys. Good morning, audience. My name is Phil Zelaya. I'm the head football coach at Kaiser High School in Fontana.
Man, right here live in the studio. You guys are man, got a good season going on. I know Coach B was excited to get you in there.
Absolutely.
Fontana resident.
Absolutely. 10 years strong. 10 years strong. My daughter was born. My daughter was born at Kaiser. So we the Fontana Kaiser. At the Fontana Kaiser. So
at the Fontana Kaiser.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Well, sir, I tell you what, man, your team has gotten off to a very strong start. You guys are 3-0. And, you know, again, it's kind of young. 3-1, pardon me. And you guys took a tough loss to a very good Cajon team. Talk to us about what did the loss teach you and where you guys are right now.
Where we're at right now is we're happy to be 3-1. You know, the loss that we did have is to an extremely experienced Cajon football team. I think a lot of their players are 3-year guys. I mean, they had some sophomores that were taking some beatings earlier.
Yeah.
But now they're all grown up and they're playing really strong. What did we learn out of it? You know, probably being prepared. You know, we didn't have a great week of preparation. We have some young kids that are playing varsity football. We have some experienced guys that are playing. For me as the head coach, you know, I take the blame in that loss as far as preparation goes. Mm-hmm. And the kids need to learn from that. And I think that probably when it was all said and done, we looked at that scoreboard. You know, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty after that scoreboard, but it's probably a learning lesson in the fact that we had to do things right during the week. We didn't have a good week of practice at all.
Indeed. Well, I tell you what, you know, you guys had a really big win last night against Apple Valley. Maybe you can kind of walk us through that game. Let us know how that game was.
Walk you through the game. Well, first of all, it was a high-scoring game. We won 48-42. So
right.
I don't know if there's any walking. You know what? Apple Valley, we love playing them. Why? Because they're physical. They're coached extremely hard. Their kids don't back down.
Yeah.
I told our players that's how it was going to be. And honestly, they gave all that. You know, they have a great staff up there, and they have a young man running the ball who is very hard to bring down. He's a big young man.
Yeah.
Runs extremely hard. Presented some challenges for our defense. One person couldn't take him down, and he proved it. You know, he had some big plays, and then offensively, they challenged us. Defensively, they play hard as well. It was a high-scoring game. You know, I guess you only need to be 1 point better.
I was about to say, all you got to do is walk away with that W. I tell you what.
Nowadays, that's all it is. You got to be 1 point better, I guess.
Indeed.
And once again, we have Coach Zelaya. I hope I'm saying that right.
You're good.
I know, Coach Z.
Coach about to say he's going to make you drop down and give him 50.
He has that coach's voice, you know, from Kaiser High School. We appreciate you coming in. Now, I have a question for you. Give us some of your kids on your team that you want to spotlight and you want to showcase. Who are some of the kids at Kaiser that we should say, oh, my goodness, that's a kid we have to keep our eyes on?
The first young man is going to be Joshua Johnson. He's our running back. He's been with us for 3 years as a starter. He's an incredible young man. He's been a leader for 2 years, really. I mean, his sophomore year, he came in and just played a little bit. Junior year was a leader. Now he's a senior. He's all grown up. He's playing extremely hard. He's an extremely modest man.
Nice.
I call him a man because I believe he's a man right now.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job for us being a leader. James Hansen, the offensive line, he has a long lineage of family of Hansens that played for us. He's a big, loving young man. We have a tight end, Armani Dotson, who is a great student. He's got some Ivy League schools that are looking at him.
Nice.
He's doing a great job.
That's always a good thing.
That's always
right.
a good
yes,
thing,
sir.
being able to get back on that education. You know?
Yep.
And then we have a young man who's playing quarterback for us for the first time this year, Tyreek Jones. He's done a good job. And the defensive side of the ball, we've got some players that are new to the game, so to speak.
Indeed.
JJ, Joshua, he's playing, and Tyreek, they're both playing in the secondary for us. Linebackers, Armani, he's playing linebacker for us. Their defensive line, they're a new group of kids. They're all learning. With Romeo Pantoa and Mickey Gutierrez, they're doing a great job for us too.
And I know no bulletin board material. We always say this. Now, when the Sun-Kissed League, it all, and I love this. Like I said, living in Fontana, being there 10 years, I love the fact that it seems like the Sun-Kissed League always comes down to either Kaiser or it either comes down to Summit. Summit is off to an incredible start. They're 4-0. They're stacked with a lot of good players. You guys are stacked with some great players. Give us a preview of that game. What are your thoughts about that game, Coach?
Well, it says October 30th down here.
October 30th. Yeah, we're a little bit of ways. We are a little bit of ways. I guess I got a little excited.
No, I know. You live in Fontana. You're allowed.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be at that game.
It's a big game. It is a big game. Got to keep perspective as far as weight. There's a lot of things that can happen. With people getting healthy, people injured, so on and so forth. The bottom line is Summit's got a great football team. They've got some extremely good football players, extremely talented. More importantly, they're coached very, very well.
Right.
So when we get an opportunity to play against them later on during the year, where we're at as far as wins and losses, it really doesn't matter. It comes down to that moment. You're right. We have had an opportunity to share league titles between each other.
And CIF titles. So we've won some titles in Fontana.
Yes, indeed.
There's a huge mutual respect between the coaching staffs. We all know each other. The players. Nowadays, all players know each other.
Yeah.
This travel 7-on-7.
Crazy.
So there's a great level of respect for them. We'll see what happens as far as wins and losses go when we get to that point. But I can't really think about that game right now.
I hear you. Got to worry about next week. Before we ask that next question, Greg, if you could do me a favor, I'm a homer. I just want to make sure we prepare this music. So the coach, we talked. Eternal's going to ask the question, but Coach, we talked about enough about Kaiser. Let's talk about your boy. So there we go. Now we have the music. Okay, there we go. Okay, I digress.
Well, Coach, it's great because I just saw a special the other day, and Ronnie Lott was on there.
From USC.
Again, he talked about one of his best experiences was playing, in the city of Rialto, but he said playing against Fontana teams, and a bit, back in that day, Fontana was just jacked up with great players, and it was just great schools, and it was great doing things. It's really coming back again. We're starting early.
See, he loves it.
Talk about your son,
who is a Fontana Trojan.
Who is a Fontana Trojan, man. Give us a little talk, raising them up early.
Hence the music.
Joey Zelaya, he's doing a great job. It's his third year playing football. He really loves it. He's really a team football player, and as a coach, I couldn't be more proud of that, of him being a team football player and just wanting the best for the players on the team. And he's just happy, Win, loss, it's just fun to watch him play.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that was, I always find a way to get
his way to get his SE, and especially since they took that severe beating.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that. That's it is what it is, Coach.
So tell you what.
So yeah, we're looking forward to the season. We're looking forward to some great things. We're looking forward to a great Sun-Kissed League. Is there any player? And I know we're pressed against time, but if you can just let us know, is there any player in the Sun-Kissed that you get excited about watching and seeing?
Kaiser football players.
Dang right. He's like, what are you thinking, man? I got to go back. I got to go back to school on Monday.
Right.
Oh, man. School on Monday. I live all year long with these boys. I better be their biggest fan.
There you go.
Smart man right there, Coach. Hey, Coach, I tell you what, man. It's been a pleasure to have you in here. Thank you for showing up early. And again, congratulations on the season. You guys are doing a really good job. And again, hats off to you and your coaching staff.
I appreciate it, gentlemen. Thanks for having us in. This is a lot of fun.
Indeed.
Absolutely. We got to make this an annual thing.
Indeed.
We'll bring you back again next year. No, you know what? When you guys make that deep CIF,
I was about to say, man, we're going to be when you guys make that
playoffs,
deep
man. Run in the
playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. We'll definitely make it happen. So once again, Coach, I'm just going to say Coach Z.
There you go, man.
Coach Z from Kaiser High School joining us here on IE Sport. And I appreciate it. We've been trying to get Coach Z on for a little while.
Exactly.
We finally
got him in there.
Schedules finally matched.
Matched up. Indeed. Finally matched. He had your son plays today, right?
He plays on Saturdays.
He plays on Saturday. And you know what? I was telling Eternal about this when I first talked to Coach Z. He was like, I was telling him who we are and whatnot. He's like, yeah, I saw you guys in the paper. So I was like, yeah. I was a little excited.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm a fan.
There you go. Fight on,
likewise,
baby. Fight on. So once again, you're listening to IE Sports Net with Coach B
and Eternal. When it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops here
on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. Fight on.
This is Ryan Kelly with the LA Lakers. And this is IE Sportsnet.
This is the one and only Coach B.
And Eternal.
From IE Sportsnet, heard right here on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Now, let's talk fantasy sports for a minute. FanDuel one-week games are almost here.
FanDuel is the leader in one-week fantasy football with more winners and more payouts than any other site.
They're paying over $75 million a week this season.
Salary cap format. Pick any players you want for just 1 week.
Entry fees are starting at just $1, and anyone can play.
Man, that is a good hookup. Go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, use our code, IE Sportsnet, sign up now.
Special offers for new users. For every dollar you deposit, FanDuel will match it up to $200, and that gets earned as you pay. That's a bonus of up to $200, and it's only good for the first 50 players. Go to IE Sportsnet in the upper right corner on FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Sign up today.
Did you know home appliance and major system breakdowns cost homeowners an average of $1,700 per year in repairs and replacements?
American Residential Warranty can help cover those costs with home service plans starting at less than $1 a day.
Plan options include coverage for central air, heat, and ductwork,
interior electrical systems and plumbing,
major kitchen appliances,
water heaters,
washers and dryers,
garage door openers,
ceiling fans, and more.
Even pools and spas.
American Residential Warranty replaced my dishwasher with a brand new one, and I only paid a small service fee.
I woke up on a Saturday morning. There was no hot water in the shower. So I called American Residential Warranty. They sent a repairman to fix the problem the same day.
Call now. There's no obligation. But hurry, if you wait until you need a home service repair,
it'll be too late.
Call now to get your home warranty. 1-800-969-0885. That's 1-800-969-0885.
Attention patients who've been implanted with an IVC filter. If you or a loved one received an inferior vena cava filter and are now suffering complications, call the Reliant Group right now. You may be eligible for financial compensation. IVC filters are implanted into the inferior vena cava vein to prevent blood clots from traveling into the lungs, causing pulmonary embolisms. Unfortunately, these filters can fracture, move throughout the body, pierce blood vessels and organs, tilt, or become irretrievable. These failures can result in a number of serious injuries, including internal bleeding, organ damage, infection, and even death. If you were implanted with an IVC filter and were injured, you may be owed compensation from the manufacturer.
Call the Reliant Group right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation for your pain and suffering.
If you or a loved one has been implanted with an IVC filter and the device failed, call the Reliant Group at 800-219-2913. That's 800-219-2913.
Attention! The FDA has associated Depakote and Paxil with serious birth defects. If you took one of these drugs while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, the manufacturer may be to blame. If you took Depakote or Paxil and your child was born with anal atresia, cleft palate, clubfoot, cranial defects, heart defects, gastroschisis, omphalocele, PPHN, spina bifida, or other limb defect, call the Reliant Group. You and your child may be entitled to a significant cash award.
Call the Reliant Group right now and you'll be connected to an experienced attorney who will evaluate your case and determine if you may qualify for financial compensation. There is no risk on your part and you don't owe a penny unless we are successful.
If you took Depakote or Paxil while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect,
call the Reliant Group at 800-219-6552. That's 800-219-6552.
What's up? This is TJ Ward from the Denver Broncos. You're now tuning to IE Sportsnet.
The Inland Empire Sports Authority.
Yes, we are live at IE Sportsnet. IE Sportsnet right here on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 a.m. on a great Saturday morning. It is Eternal.
And I am the one and only Coach B. You know, when it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops right here. We ready to dive into this?
Man, we ready to hop in. You know, I got to tell the coach a quick side note. When he walked in, I thought for sure he was one of the players.
Right.
I mean, he looks like, he came in, he was like, you know, you got a young, vibrant look about him. So I was like, okay, that's good, man. So I know he gets it a lot with the players. But again, Coach, if you would please do us the honor, Coach, of introducing yourself to the IE Sportsnet audience.
All right. My name is Marcus Hughes. I'm the head football coach at Diamond Bar High School.
Coach, we really appreciate you coming on, man. So I know that your youthful look. I know you get a lot about. I know the players. I can imagine that comes up a lot with the players.
Yeah. I get razzed a little bit every now and then.
That's good stuff. Well, I tell you what, Coach. We don't get a lot of updates on Diamond Bar football, but again, I know that you guys are. As we are talking to your partner here, again, it's still considered in the Inland Empire. Maybe you can talk about what goes on out there in Diamond Bar. What's special about Diamond Bar football?
Well, in terms of football, it's growing. I heard I'm new to Diamond Bar, so I'm still learning about it. But
about that.
Has a great tradition. And in terms of the school, though, a lot of people don't know. I mean, Diamond Bar High School from Newsweek magazine, ranked at 7th in the nation, and 77th in the nation, and 8th in the state of California.
Wow.
And
wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's like going to a public school and getting a private school education for free.
Interesting. Interesting.
And not to cut in, but I mean, a lot of times we talk football, we talk this, but he's talking academics.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
I guarantee you his kids are going to Ivy League schools.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
So yeah, but football, it's coming up. We're off to a good start. Kids are working hard, and it was nice having a whole off season with the guys this year. So
that's good. Now you guys had a really big win last night against Cyprus. What are your thoughts on that game, Coach?
We kind of had a little bit of a letdown. We didn't play well against Brea the week before, so we knew we had to bounce back. We started the game off well. It was good. We played well at times. We had some mental mistakes and, just some stuff we got to clean up. But we're getting ready for league. So
I heard that.
And that's a good thing. And speaking of league, you guys you're in a great league. You guys got great rivalries. I didn't see Diamond Ranch on your schedule this year, but I know that's been an interesting little rivalry between you two because I used to live in Phillips Ranch.
Right.
And Diamond Ranch is a little confused because they don't know if they're Pomona. They don't know if they're Diamond Bar.
Everybody talks about Phillips Ranch because that's where Snoop used to live.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what everybody gets about that.
Right. So who do you have on your calendar, Coach, where you're saying, I can't wait for that game? Who's your natural rival?
Well, in terms of the league, because it's a brand new league, and the league is extremely competitive. And for me, there's not. Listen, we went 0-5 in league last year. So every game,
he's like, I want a W. Heard that, man. Heard that. Please, Coach B.
No. I was saying, so every game on your calendar is something you guys are marked off. That's good. That's what I'm talking about. So tell me, what player on your team should we keep our eye on and say, that's going to be our guy that, we can just get on his back and go?
Well, last year we had a guy, Antonio Hull, a.k.a. Noodles. He's at Wyoming now.
Nice.
That we had, he was a dude. This year, it's funny. We're solid. We're a team, and
nice.
There's not like one guy that we count on. We count on everybody. We know in order for us to win, it's going to take everybody. So, I got some guys obviously that we need to perform well. We got a running back, DiMaggio Rico. We got some linemen, David Omana, Andrew Gomez. We got a receiver, Kyle Yada, safety receiver, Connor Donahue. But overall, we just we got to play well as a team.
I heard that, Coach. Now, Coach, again, you guys are in that Pomona Valley area right there, and obviously, when people think Inland Empire, they immediately kind of go to teams like Centennial, the Norco teams. Right now, what is it about? Do you guys feel like, that you're getting the respect, and maybe you can tell our audience what's special about that area?
Yeah, just from being an outsider coming in, I feel like Southern California football in general is outstanding.
Yeah,
and I think that there's respect across the board for everyone. I know like Pomona won CIF last year.
Right.
We have some great teams in Glendora, Bonita, who are both in our league. So, I just think as a whole, this Southern Cal football's great, and everyone, pretty much has respect.
I heard that, Coach.
And once again, Coach Hughes here from Diamond Bar head coach on IE Sports and on Fox Sports Radio 1350. Now, I know this has got to be a typo. I'm looking at your bio, Coach. And is this correct where you say you have 15 years of coaching and teaching? Is that correct?
Yeah, well, 15 years of coaching, yeah.
Okay, so because it looks like you graduated.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You look like your class of 2013.
I graduated in 98.
No way. Wow. Okay, no doubt. That's good stuff, man.
And then you played at Colorado. So So give us I've coached. They call me Coach B. And I've had buddies that coached at the next level. Your experience is playing college football. Has that helped you with your players? Because you always hear about, coaches that coach in the NFL and they come back to college. They always say, well, they coached in the league. They can help you get there.
Or they have the stories. Like I told you my coach with the ankle, with the kneecap socks. You know what I mean? You're talking about how he used to be on the Jets.
Is that something that's helped you out with your players? Say, I can get you there.
Yo, definitely. I think that's something that helps all coaches, and there's also great coaches who didn't play in college, who made it.
Indeed.
Like myself. I didn't play in high school, to be honest.
He was the elected water boy in a uniform. That's funny. But I tell you what, Coach, man, again, best of luck to you, Coach. I like the fact that you're fired up about the season. You guys are creating that team atmosphere down there. And you guys are going to start putting Diamond Bar on the map over there, Coach. So we really appreciate you making that long drive out and visiting with us this morning.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Indeed.
Absolutely. So once again, Coach Hughes, and one thing I like on your bio, you gave shout-outs to married with 3 daughters?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Wife's name, kids' names?
Aaron, and then I got my oldest daughter, Trinity, my middle daughter, Tessa, and my little one, Tiana.
There you go. I love embarrassing my kids. My daughter gets tired of me always talking about her on radio, so I love to do that. So congratulations to you, Coach. It looks like you guys are going to have a great year.
Indeed.
We can't wait to see what you guys do. Make sure you keep in contact
Please
with
do.
us.
Please
keep
do.
in contact with us and keep up with us with your season. So we're going to step out and take a quick commercial break.
Indeed.
You're listening to IE Sports Net with Coach B.
Andy Turner. When it comes to Inland Empire sports, the conversation starts and stops here.
On 1350 AM.
You're listening to IESportsNet.com, the Inland Empire Sports Authority.
This is the one and only Coach B.
Andy Turner.
From IE Sportsnet, heard right here on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Now let's talk fantasy sports for a minute. FanDuel 1 week games are almost here.
FanDuel is the leader in 1 week fantasy football with more winners and more payouts than any other site.
They're paying over $75 million a week this season.
Salary cap format. Pick any players you want for just 1 week.
Entry fees are starting at just $1, and anyone can play.
Man, that is a good hookup. Go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, use our code, IESportsNet, sign up now.
Special offers for new users. For every dollar you deposit, FanDuel will match it up to $200, and that gets earned as you pay. That's a bonus of up to $200, and it's only good for the first 50 players. Go to IESportsNet in the upper right corner on FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Sign up today.
Did you know home appliance and major system breakdowns cost homeowners an average of $1,700 per year in repairs and replacements?
American Residential Warranty can help cover those costs with home service plans starting at less than $1 a day.
Plan options include coverage for central air, heat, and ductwork,
interior electrical systems and plumbing,
major kitchen appliances,
water heaters,
washers and dryers,
garage door openers,
ceiling fans, and more.
Even pools and spas.
American Residential Warranty replaced my dishwasher with a brand new one, and I only paid a small service fee.
I woke up on a Saturday morning. There was no hot water in the shower. So I called American Residential Warranty. They sent a repairman to fix the problem the same day.
Call now. There's no obligation. But hurry, if you wait until you need a home service repair,
it'll be too late.
Call now to get your home warranty. 1-800-969-0885. That's 1-800-969-0885.
Attention patients who've been implanted with an IVC filter. If you or a loved one received an inferior vena cava filter and are now suffering complications, call the Reliant Group right now. You may be eligible for financial compensation. IVC filters are implanted into the inferior vena cava vein to prevent blood clots from traveling into the lungs, causing pulmonary embolisms. Unfortunately, these filters can fracture, move throughout the body, pierce blood vessels and organs, tilt, or become irretrievable. These failures can result in a number of serious injuries, including internal bleeding, organ damage, infection, and even death. If you were implanted with an IVC filter and were injured, you may be owed compensation from the manufacturer.
Call the Reliant Group right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation for your pain and suffering.
If you or a loved one has been implanted with an IVC filter and the device failed, call the Reliant Group at 800-219-2913. That's 800-219-2913.
Attention! The FDA has associated Depakote and Paxil with serious birth defects. If you took one of these drugs while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, the manufacturer may be to blame. If you took Depakote or Paxil and your child was born with anal atresia, cleft palate, clubfoot, cranial defects, heart defects, gastroschisis, omphalocele, PPHN, spina bifida, or other limb defect, call the Rely On Group. You and your child may be entitled to a significant cash award.
Call the Rely On Group right now and you'll be connected to an experienced attorney who will evaluate your case and determine if you may qualify for financial compensation. There is no risk on your part and you don't owe a penny unless we are successful.
If you took Depakote or Paxil while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect,
call the Rely On Group at 800-219-6552. That's 800-219-6552.
You're listening to IESportsnet.com, the Inland Empire Sports Authority.
Yes, we are live. Oh, my man. This has been a track meet.
Absolutely.
This Saturday. I tell you what, man. It is IESportsnet, IESportsnet.com right here live on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. I am your host, Eternal.
And I am the one and only Coach B. And like you said, just to give people a quick recap, we had Mr. Bob Patison, the president of MAVTV, a big-time national network in our backyard in Corona. We had Coach Scott Morrison from Santiago Sharks. Coach Hughes just left us from Diamond Bar, and Coach Z from Kaiser High School.
Kaiser.
Yeah, and then we have one of the historic programs on the line with us.
Indeed.
From Aquinas. Coach, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
We are doing great. Do us a favor, Coach. I don't want to butcher up your names. I'm known for doing it. I'm going to meet you. I don't want you to make me do up downs. I don't want you to make me do bleachers. So, Coach, by all means, correctly pronounce your name for the IE Sportsnet audience, please.
Jordan Brusig.
Hey, Coach, look what, man, I tell you what, man, we appreciate you calling in this morning. Coming off a big win last night, I mean, Coach, you could have let them score a point. I mean, you know. But, Coach, maybe you could talk to us about that big win you had last night.
Well, we came out and did what we were planning to do, and that was execute. We've been practicing all week on doing our jobs, and that's what we were able to do last night. So it was a good team win. Indeed.
Now, you guys are going to be playing teams like Linfield, Christian, some big teams coming up. Talk to us about this season. What's the preparation as coming into this season? Because you guys are going to be obviously starting league play soon.
Yeah. Well, we know our league's real tough. It's gotten a lot tougher since Notre Dame got in there as well. And, you know, our whole preseason is geared towards us getting better and getting to the point and staying healthy where we're able to compete and do well in our league.
I heard that, Coach.
And speaking of that, Coach, you guys have, like you said, you guys are out there in the Ambassador League, really good league, really strong league, just like Eternal touched on. You guys play Linfield Christian, Arrowhead Christian, you play Notre Dame. So you guys got some really, really good talent. Who are some of the players on your team that you got, when you guys get on the field, you'll say, I'm glad we got this guy on the team, and we got who are the studs on Aquinas for us?
Well, we got a lot of good players. I mean, there's not one guy on our team that doesn't have something to do. You know, there's not 50 guys on our team. You know, last night we dressed a small number of guys and everybody got in the game.
Nice.
But we got a nice mix. You know, there's some freshmen in the game. There's sophomores playing. So there's a lot of young guys on the team, and I feel like they all play a really important role.
And that's good. So let's talk about that. You have a lot of underclassmen. I saw that on your roster, and you guys are 2-2. So you guys are at the 50-50 mark. Do you think that this season is going to be one of those seasons that helps build you for next year and so forth? And I know this year is important. I get that. But do you think this is going to be one of those things where this is going to be one of those years that teaches your guys this is how we're going to win and this is how we're going to build the Aquinas program going forward?
Well, the young guys that we have in here have done a good job of getting acclimated to how we do things over here, and we've done things here, you know, a certain way for a long time since I was at school here. And, you know, these guys are doing a good job understanding that, and they're fitting really well into the roles that we have them to play. So I'm really excited about our future and the rest of the season.
And, Coach, you said when you were at Aquinas, are you an alumni?
Yeah, I am.
How awesome is that? I've said this. I coach youth football. The only high school I would ever coach in my life is my alma mater, which is Downey High School. How does that feel, Coach, when you can tell these kids, hey, I'm an Aquinas guy as well? What is that like, Coach?
Well, it's like we're able to share a brotherhood that not a lot of people get a chance to be a part of, and I hope that sometimes it seems that if they're getting discouraged or anything like that, I can use examples from the past and how kids have got through this program and been successful. So I like that I can share a little bit of a common bond with them. We can talk about things, because we've been all into it.
And that's good. And once again, you're listening to IE Sports Net on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM.
I tell you what, Coach, man, we really appreciate you calling in this morning, Coach. Now, do you have any big games that you want to do you want to highlight that you're like, hey, audience, if you guys want to come check us out, you guys got some big games circled up?
Yeah, every game in our league, every game, pretty much from here on out, is a big game. When we start against Linfield Christian at Linfield Christian, that's a big game.
Oh yeah.
We were able to get a win on them last year, and they were league champs, and we were able to beat them last year at our place. So we feel like if we get everybody healthy, we're going to be ready to go. So I think that's going to be definitely a good game for us.
Indeed, Coach. We tell you what, man. Thank you so much, Coach, for calling in. We appreciate your patience, and again, best of luck this season, Coach.
Coach B, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, and we're going to keep in contact. We'll keep in contact with Coach because we want to do some. We got some things we want to work with him on.
Indeed.
But this, like we said, Eternal. This has been one. It was a track meet. It was super fast. We got about 3 minutes, and because we opened the show with Bob from MAVTV.
Indeed.
Let's blow through it. But are the IE Sportsnet top 10, or we'll do the top 5 on the show.
Exactly.
If you want to see the poll, make sure you go to iesportsnet.com. Number 5 was Rancho Cucamonga.
Man, they had a big game against La Siena. They won 59-21. Great game.
And that's good because they had a tough loss against Norco early in the season.
Yeah.
So it looks like everyone. Michelle Gardner was big on them.
Yep.
So it looks like
they're starting to respond.
Exactly. Number 4, rightfully so, was
Indeed.
Norco.
And Norco beat a really game Citrus Hill team. Gave them all they can handle. Actually, Citrus Hill was kind of up a lot in this game, but Norco came back and they proved victorious, beat them in a very close game, 31-28.
And we talked about that. You were surprised because Citrus played a really good game.
Oh yeah, they're a good squad.
Once again, we're doing the IE Sportsnet top 5. You want to see the whole top 20 poll? Go to iesportsnet.com. Number 3, our guys Vista Murrieta.
Yeah, man, they lost to a very game Orange Lutheran team. Again, another team that Citrus Hill, Centennial beat early in the season. But these guys always are really, really good team. They're very well coached. And again, Vista Murrieta took a loss to Orange Lutheran, 14-29.
And the spotlight game, you were there last night.
Oh yeah. I text you, and again, respectively, because we had the coach from Carter on. But again, it was just the athletes that Rev had opposed to Carter. It was just night and day out there, and I had a chance to kind of hang out with Kyle Glazer and Pete Marshall of the Sun, and they kind of just echoed the same thing. It was just really just it was a JV against varsity team.
Right.
And again, respectively, I say that, but it was a very tough game, and Rev came out really game after a tough loss, 50-0 against Carter.
And without even having to take the field, without even having to step out there, number 5 was Rancho, number 4 was Norco, number 3 is Vista Murrieta, number 2 Redlands East Valley, number 1 the big dog of them all,
the number 1 shot.
Exactly, the Corona Centennial
with young JJ Dynamite.
Exactly. So that was number 1 in our poll.
Yep.
So our spotlight game was Rev Carter. Another big thing. This has shocked me. Rubidoux.
Oh yeah, 4-0.
Poly.
4-0.
And they beat Poly.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Did they beat them or did Poly come back?
No, they beat Poly.
Let me tell you something.
They beat Poly.
Rubidoux, they need
42-40.
I was looking at them in our poll. Rubidoux's going to definitely be moving up in week 4.
Exactly.
But they played really good. I know we got to get ready to wrap up and get out of here. I want to say big shout out to all our guests. We're doing some great things. We got some meetings going on. Even today, we're going to be talking to some people. IE Sportsnet is on the move.
Absolutely. So that was a big game for us in Riverside. The big game for and this is one thing we want to do. We want to point out a Riverside game.
Yes, indeed.
In San Bernardino, Colton Chafee, Mikey Dean. We're going to have him on the show.
Yep.
He got 6 touchdowns.
Wow. Yeah.
And then we'll talk about, I know we got to get out of here. We'll talk about this more on another show. High Desert, Serrano had to forfeit a game, so now they're 3-1.
Oh, wow.
But we're ready to get out of here. I don't want Greg hollering at me. So you're listening to IE Sports Net with Coach B.
And Eternal. When it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops here.
On Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. See you next week.
Man.